We're gonna have some fun here this morning. Yes, we are. Gentlemen, we are here in the shop at like 2 in the morning because we're finished. And I cannot wait to get this video out. I built this video, or this amp, live on the Truck CB Sales webpage on Facebook because he has been holding a raffle. Now, he come to me about 3 weeks ago and asked me, "Hey, BBI, could you build me an amp for my raffle?" And I said, "Well, maybe." And I had to go chat with my wife. Let me explain to you why. Monday through Friday and most Saturdays, I spend my time building everybody's stuff. It's a first come, first serve service around here. So, the only time that I could build this out of schedule would be if I asked my wife if she'd be willing to let me have 3 hours a night on Sunday to come out and do this live on video for the Truck CB Sales group. To which she committed, but she said, "Don't get carried away." So here it is, Sunday, 3 weeks from the start date, and we're done. This little 2x8 is no joke. Brian did not screw around. He did not want to have them little 30 amp switchers in this thing, and I said, "Well, I got the cure just for that." I have 100 amp Meanwhile, RSP 1500-15s. These are medical grade switch mode power supplies that are 100 amp continuous duty. They're auto switch. That means this thing can run on 110 or 220 without having to even open the cabinet switching any switches. They load share, they power share, and they're IntelliSmart. Now, I don't have the data link cable that goes between these two because there is a cable. Here's an interface that goes right here on the front of this thing, and you can plug this into that, and that into this, set one up as master and one up as slave. It does it automatically. This is the only supply that's on until it senses a load. Then it kicks this supply on automatically. Absolutely brilliant technology. Hold on. All right. These things are bad, and I mean badass. We can put a 200 amp load on this unit and go have dinner. Watch a movie and come back and it'll be just fine. I was reading on the web that they theoretically max these things out at 150 amps a piece, surge. So that means internally there's up to 300 amps worth of supply, although we have it fused at such a point to where if you put a 300 amp load on this underneath 220 operation, it would pop the fuse and shut the thing off. We do that for safety reasons. But all that aside, we built this entire thing by hand, live, on Facebook. So those guys that aren't following me, that follow my channel on YouTube, missed out on the entire build process. I'm doing more and more of these live builds because that's the way the customers are wanting it. And remember, I'm here to serve you, the customer. This thing is sexy. And boy, does it put out the power. You're going to see here in just a minute. Allen Bradley contactor. On-off switch. Now, I played with kick-ass, no kick-ass. I thought, no, that wouldn't be very professional. So we just went with the standard operate, on-off, variable power. And this is amp number 2036. I love this thing. It's been a while. I've been suggesting to the customers that call and order these things from me that we go to these Meanwhile supplies. The little LED switch mode power supplies were great 5-6 years ago when everybody first started using switch supplies. There's better units out there. And a lot of guys don't want to spend the money. Well, because the raffle is a raffle, we could put the price at this at any point that we wanted, and I set it a little bit higher than normal and went out and got real power supplies. I have the voltage set on this at 14.9 volts. It does not back up, it does not wiggle, it does not come down. The fans don't need to be voltage regulated, nothing. Just flat out runs like a raped animal. We also put a 200 amp non-fused power output port on the back. This is unfused, you guys. So if you drop a screwdriver from here to here, you're going to have an explosion. Well, for a short moment. These have got auto crowbar protection in them, so they'll just shut off. They go, oh, up, dead short, off. You'll probably have to replace the fuse, turn the unit off, turn it back on, you'll be back up and running. But these will be fuglified. Teflon PL259s with the gold-plated inserts, of course, in the center. We have this whole area from here down open for exhaust air, and this area from here on down is open for port, or is blocked for port. So 100% of the air that comes in from those four Evercool 120 millimeter double ball bearing 2,200 Rip'em fans has to exhaust out through this heatsink. So I have 100% laminate airflow. 2 Toshiba 2879s driving 8 Toshiba 2879s. This is a low drive amp. You don't want to put a striker into it. Use a 955 or something like that. Something that does about 35, 40 watts, somewhere in there. And you're going to see why here in just a minute. That's it. Talk show's over. I'll put the lid on it. Let's get to hammering down. Okay. Do a quick lap here. 1,000 watt slug in 5X. That's reading like a 5,000 watt slug. 1,000 watt slug in forward in average. 5 watt slug in reverse, back from the Bird 10,000 watt dummy load. I've got the variable all the way open. It's in the operate state, and it's currently in off. We are going to use the 2950, the 5 watt slug between the 2950 and the amplifier to show input reflect, voltage hooked up to the power plugs on the back. Now when I set this earlier it was at 14.9. Now we're floating at 15.1, so I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. But if 0.2 of a volt makes that big of a difference to the radio world, shame on the mess. Okay, so we're going to show our drive. Hello, audio. Hello. Just in case you missed it. Hello. Hello. Now we're going to look at it in average in 1,000 watt. Hello, audio. We're putting about 7 bird into this thing. That's all we're going to put into it. 5 watt slug. Hello. That's a poor representation, BBI. Come on. 100 watt. 50 watt. There we go. Hello, audio. 10 bird. That's the max I can dead key is 5. 1 watt. Hello, audio. 10 bird. Okay. That's going to come into play here in a minute. Let's put our 5 watt slug in reverse. Let me show me talking through the box. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. Got all that out of the way. Now let's lock this puppy down on the tripod. Let's go ahead and we'll fire this sucker up. So at 15.1. Let's run this guy through its paces. There we go. Okay. 1 watt dead key gets us just about 10 watts. No audio. No audio. Seeing about 2300 out of it, PEP, and about 650 out of it, average. Watch the power supply, watch the average meter. Here's around a kW dead key. 14.95. The reason we can key it that high is because the power supplies are inside this unit. You notice the voltage over here drops to almost nothing. I mean, it's just falling on its face, right? Look at that. Whole 0.2 of a volt drop. It's about 1,000, 1,100 watt dead key. Bring it on back. Do it again. About 1,100 watts on the stop peg on the average meter. The PEP scale, we're showing about 1,100, 1,200 watts. Bring our dead key back to 200. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. It's the advantage to the big badass power supplies, man. Can't help but love it. Let's back out of this for a minute. We're going to go up here. We're going to go look at the input tune. Am I going to be able to pan that high? There we go. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. That's all she wrote. Pretty scooch 'em cool. I am very impressed with the operations of this amp. Very impressed. Especially for not being volted. Alright, let's see if I can do this with one hand. What I wanted to show you was the variable. We had it all the way open. That's with about 3 watts worth of dead key. Audio. It's the variable to quarter. Audio. Is it half? Audio. Try and demonstrate to you is if you got the input tune right, you don't need to put resistors on it to have attenuation. All the way back to 0. A lot of guys want to leave that dead key way down. So leave it up. Get yourself a couple 100 watt carrier. Up to about 500-600 watts. And it's going to fall back. And that's not what you want to do with a solid state box. Bring that carrier on up there to about 300 or so and just let it go. We're seeing it modulate forward at about 600, 610, 630 over here on the average meter. And we're seeing peaks consistently between 2,300 and 2,500 over here on the PEP side. Keys thing around 200-300 watts, 400 watts max. Dead carrier, and just let it go forward. And this thing will last you forever. Gentlemen, I got to do this build here today because my buddy Brian Smith, on his little web group there on Facebook called Truck CB Sales, decided to do a raffle. He decided that he'd raffle off one of my new boxes, and they were willing to wait 3 weeks for me to be able to build it on my spare time. I want to thank my wife. Guys, if you haven't discovered Truck CB Sales' page on Facebook, please come join us. He's raffling off like thousands and thousands and thousands and I think this last week he held one raffle where the prizes were worth like $7,000. And he's been doing them like every 2 days. I can't even tell you how many Bird 43 watt meters he's given away, and how many slugs, how many peak kits, how many... Geez, he just auctioned off 2 ICOM 7300s. The brand new hot dog badass, all digital, all computer controlled badass radio from ICOM. He just raffled off 2 of them like it was nothing. Come join us. We're having a lot of fun over there. Come hang out with the cool kids. Guys, I appreciate you all watching. Brian, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to put this little badass unit together for you. I'm going to kick it. It's going to be out the door to its owner on Monday. You're going to see a bunch of posts all over Facebook about it when it gets there, probably on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Gentlemen, I'll see ya. Bye.